I'd like to call this regular board meeting of the Harlingen CISD Board of Trustees to order. We do have a quorum, and at this time I'll ask you to join me in a moment of silence. Thank you very much. This time I'll ask Shane Strubar to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight's pledge will be led by Diego Alonso Fuentes from Ben Milam Dual Language Academy. Diego is a 5th grade student and stays very busy participating in a variety of activities. This year, he is Ben Milam's Student Council Vice President. He is also participating in robotics, choir, UIL art, and safety patrol. Furthermore, Diego also plays basketball with the Pistons for the Boys and Girls Club. Diego has been awarded the Principal's List, A Honor Roll, AR, and Citizenship Awards. Diego enjoys reading and strives to meet his AR goals every 9 weeks. He loves robotics which has motivated him to pursue a degree in engineering. His favorite hobbies include basketball, reading, and art, and his favorite TV show is Shark Tank. Diego loves his school and says the best part of being at Ben Milam is how much the teachers care for all the students and, of course, all of the fun activities. Go Mustangs. Tonight, he is joined by his parents, Rosie and Joe Fuentes. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Diego Alonso Fuentes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Diego, be careful. We got an engineering dean at UTRGV that's going to recruit you right now. He's creating more and more pathways. You may not be able to find another pathway after he's there after their UTRGV's done. But thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership, and we appreciate your parents being here as well. Thank you. Sonia, do we have any public comments for agenda topics this evening? We do not. Thank you very much. Well, at this time, we'll move into action or agenda item 2, consideration and approval of memorandum of understanding between Harlingen CISD and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley for architect services for early college high school. And before you present this item, Ms. Cortan, you can please step forward, please. Just need to let the audience know that I'll be abstaining from discussion and voting on this matter, given my role as a regent for the UT system. Please, Veronica.
Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior team, and audience, it is my pleasure to be able to be here with you this evening as we bring forward 2 agenda items regarding our partnership with UTRGV. And so before we get started, I'll tell you that in the next few slides, I will be sharing 3 of our renderings of the campus. Very excited about that, and joining us and the man behind these things, David Monreal from Gomez Mendez Signs. I'd also like to thank him for being here this evening with Rudy Gomez and Rowan Gomez. So huge shout out to Mr. Monreal. So look into the future. Really excited about this partnership. And as we look into the future, you see this beautiful image up on the screen where you have an aerial view of our building. This will be our UTRGV Harlingen site. What's unique about it is that at the beginning of the day, it will be a high school to house our early college high school campus. And if you look over here to the right, you see all of these wonderful tan-colored shirts. So these are some of our future occupants of the building. But during the day, this building will serve as a high school campus. And at the end of the day, when our last bell rings, we will transition into a university site. So a unique partnership. We've been working with UTRGV to look at this because indeed it's something, it's new territory, right? And so really excited about the work that we've done thus far. And so in Harlingen, we have made a grand commitment to have pathways for college, career, and community-ready graduates. And so Early College High School, in our partnership with UTRGV, will also be able to support that mantra. It's been great to have UTRGV as a partner because they too are supporting us in our endeavor. And so part of what you'll see at our Early College High School is a concentration on 3 pathways. And I must say, in working with the deans with these 3 pathways, we learned a lot about post-secondary, and it's just so refreshing to know that they're right there walking hand in hand with us as we're designing the curriculum. But the 3 pathways that we'll look at, the first 2, we're looking at a pre-engineering strand and a computer science strand. And so if you have studied the trends in the industry, those are really important strands to have, or pathways to have for our students. The third pathway is one very near and dear to our hearts. That is a pathway for Aspiring Teacher Residency Academy. So important work that we'll be doing there because we will be having a hand in building the next generation of educators with the intention of having them come back home, right? So we're working on the pathways, and we'll be bringing that curriculum forward soon. So I would be remiss if I didn't reiterate the importance and the difference that this partnership is making. You think about what this is going to do for our community and for surrounding communities. We are bringing college to Harlingen in a very different manner. And so as I mentioned earlier, this is a great partnership, but it's one that has been built on bold thinking and innovative dreaming for our kids. And so what we're creating here tonight and in years to come will be generations of impact, right? And so we're really, really excited this evening. So I am going to move into the first agenda item. Board, I would like to present the consideration and ask for your approval for the Memorandum of Understanding between Harlingen CISD and UTRGV for the Architect Services for Early College High School. Board members, at this time, the administration recommends the approval of the Memorandum of Understanding as presented.
Board members, any questions or discussion? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, make a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding between Harlingen CISD and the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley for architect services for Early College High School.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jaimes, a second by Mr. Powers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries unanimously, and please note my abstention. Thank you very much.
So prior to, I'm sorry.
Go for it. Go ahead, please.
Prior to moving into the second board agenda item, I do want to invite Dr. Bailey up here. He is our president for UTRGV and such an integral part of this great partnership. So Dr. Bailey.
So if you mind, Dr. Bailey, let me introduce the item, and then please I'll ask you to present. The item 3, consider and take possible action to adopt a resolution approving an interlocal agreement with UTRGV concerning the construction of the Early College High School facility, including the duties and payment obligations of each of the parties, and authorizing the superintendent to execute the final interlocal agreement. And again, please note my abstention due to my role as a regent for the UT system. Dr. Bailey, please.
Thank you so much. First, I want to thank you for having us here tonight. And if you wonder how important this is for us, you not only have the president, I have Jana Arney, our deputy president there. We have our vice president for academic affairs, Patty McHatton here, who's been instrumental from the beginning. I have 2 of my deans here. This is important for us. This is key. This is a major project. I've told people around the state that I thought this was the best partnership with a school district I'd ever been involved with. And this school district has just been a dream to work with. We want to thank you for everything you do. I think you're going to love the results. We are too. When I presented our request for permanent university fund dollars, and by the way, our regent couldn't vote on this one either. So he got his hands tied all the way around. But to the University of Texas system, the chancellor immediately focused on this. He said, this is good, I like this. And we had full support from the system, from the Board of Regents. Everyone who has seen this project understands that this is really something special. We're really proud to be part of it and proud to be your partners. Thank you so much for everything we that we do together, that you do with us. We look forward to doing lots more in the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey.
So we thank you, Dr. Bailey, because you two have had a huge hand in this. So thank you for the opportunity and the partnership. We're forever grateful for the role that you have played in this. So Board, I would like to move to the second agenda item. I would like to bring forward the consideration and possible action to adopt a resolution approving an interlocal agreement with UTRGV concerning the construction of the Early College High School facility. If approved, this would authorize our superintendent to execute the final copy or the final draft of our interlocal agreement with the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. Board, at this time, the administration recommends approval of the resolution as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to move approval of the interlocal agreement with UTRGV concerning the construction of the Early College High School facility, including the duties and the payment obligations of each of the parties, and authorizing the superintendent to execute the final interlocal agreement with pleasure.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fleury, second by Dr. Reiniger. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. And please note my abstention. Congratulations. At this time, I believe we're going to have a signing.
Yes, if I could have our superintendent and our board members join us down here, Dr. Bailey and your team as well, if we can just come right up here.
Down at the paper as they sign.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I know the board might want to make some comments, and I'll just say, now that it's passed with my abstention, I can make some comments now. Let me tell you how hugely impressed the Board of Regents are with Dr. Bailey's leadership and his team. Right now in UTRGV, there's some amazing things happening all across this great valley, and it's because of the incredible leadership at the UTRGV. Just amazing commitment to not only increasing the quality and the type of programming at UTRGV, but more importantly, in creating that alignment with pre-K through 12 and the public schools around the region. And at the same time, I'll remind you that they're also running a school of medicine and many residency programs. So it's really a game changer for this region to have a university and a school of medicine in a distributive campus model that has the commitment to really align with the public schools. And Dr. Bailey, we appreciate the compliment on HCISD, but again, it's about leadership, as you know, and we're lucky to have this guy right here who is really a trailblazer in public education. So we appreciate you all tag teaming so often to create opportunities for Harlingen's young students. I can assure you that this board is committed to helping you in whatever way we can, as you said, look for other opportunities in other school districts that are ready, willing, and able to do the same or similar things. We stand ready to help in any way we can, because this is just, I think, a game changer for not only for teacher preparation, but for computer science and engineering. And so we're just really excited about the pathways and the possibilities. So thank you again, Doc, and appreciate your leadership. The board is very impressed, and the chancellor is. We have a bunch of, I always say we're a bunch of president's regents, but I do believe we have an amazing chancellor, and we have a president's chancellor as well, and he really gets what you're doing and is appreciative of your leadership. So I think this was a no-brainer for the PUF distribution. So thanks again for being here tonight. It means a lot, and of course for all your team. Just amazing group of leaders. So thank you all very much for being here. So any other board members have any comments, please?
Mr. President?
Please, Mr. Jaimes.
Real quick, I'll be short. I'm going to steal one of Dr. Cavazos' sayings he likes to say all the time. This is a moment in time that we're all going to remember, and I'm glad so many people are here, not just from Early College, but we have a lot of our students that will be recognized later, all part of the school district, that they are able to witness this moment in time. I spoke to someone earlier today at work, and I mentioned it during our committee meeting, and they told me that they spoke to someone that said, the school district's great because everybody's so nice, the board's so nice, the administration's so nice, but the one thing that sticks out is that everybody there has high expectations. You know, we can have high expectations with partners like you guys, Dr. Bailey, and your staff and UTRGV. We continue to raise that bar and set those expectations higher, and it just makes everybody better. It makes our school district better. It makes our community better. Excuse me, and that's something that I'm very proud of, being from here, born and raised in Harlingen. I went to Pan Am. I was talking to Mr. Mark Saenz earlier. I went to school with his brother. And there's just a lot of pride right now in this room and this board. And I also want to, even though he did abstain from voting, I also want to recognize Dr. Bettis. He plays two huge roles in this. He wears a lot of hats, and his leadership doesn't go unnoticed in something like this and everything that we do for the school district. So, Doc, thank you. And Dr. Bailey, your staff, UTRGV, thank you for your partnership. And this is going to be something that's really going to set the tone for the future here in Harlingen.
I want to thank you for selecting Harlingen to do this partnership with. I know you had a lot of other people that you could have picked, and we're so proud that you're doing it with us. As it's been said, this is such a game changer for our community, our school district. And I've been on the board 10 years, and I really think this is probably the most significant thing that's ever happened to enhance our students' opportunities, and not only our students, but our community as a whole. And I want to thank you so much for that.
Dr. Reiniger?
Please. I, too, wanted to add my thanks and my recognition of just how significant this is. And in Ms. Corton's presentation, she was talking about pathways. And I thought, isn't this the perfect word? So often we build kind of sidewalks that end, and you got to jump across a busy street to get to the next sidewalk, or, but we've truly built a pathway. There is going to be a group, a cohorts and cohorts, years and years of students who will know that their building during the day was their high school and could continue easily and seamlessly and comfortably to be their college education. And then we've picked degrees, paths that are so important. The engineering and the computer science and the education. And we talk about in HCISD how our teachers today are preparing students for careers that honestly we don't even know will exist in the future. They have to be that prepared. They have to give our students this foundation that they can take on any new job that comes up. But in this setting, how much more are we going to be prepared? Because we're right there with the university who is on the cusp of all innovation. And so it's truly an honor. This is a beginning of a movement. It is an important moment, and I'm so glad to share it with all of you.
Thank you.
Ms. Fleury.
Sometimes in life, things are so important that they're really difficult to describe. And I feel that way tonight. We've waited a very, very long time in South Texas for this. And I think that it's the congruence of leadership is astonishing. And speaking of moments in time, I remember once a very wise person said in our presence, it really isn't so much about moments in time, but it's about timeless moments. And what we're doing here tonight is creating and participating in a moment that will be timeless for this entire region. And when we think about the students that we serve throughout the valley and the opportunities that we've been trying to provide here and waiting for the puff money opportunities and having other universities try and not get approval because they couldn't get the funding. And there were just so many opportunities that needed to happen, and things were just out of place. And tonight they're in place. Tonight, with the leadership that we have, the gentlemen who are leading, the ladies who are leading, and you're absolutely right. It's not just the two individuals, magnificent as you are, but you have also chosen staff members who are extraordinary. And to be able to have this kind of leadership at this moment of time is going to give an opportunity to this region that we have yearned for and tried to create for so many years. And I remember, the board has heard this, Dr. Bailey, but my dad, we were fortunate to have this incredibly gifted scientist brain, wonderful man, lived to be 99 years old. And when he was 98 years old, he looked across at the rack in his wheelchair from Golden Palms, and he said, Jerry, it will be education and medicine that will change the future of this valley. And that's where we are now. That's where we are now. And following the education will come the medicine. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for taking the risks that you're taking. Thank you for doing this for every child whose life will be transformed because of this, and then their future generations. This is a moment in time, so thank you very much. Timeless moment. Timeless moment.
So, Dr. Perez, and I want to offer a few thoughts here. Some people might say that the stars are aligning for HCISD and UTRGV, and I would argue that we have a lot to do with aligning the stars. And there's an incredible staff to my left over here, you're right, with Early College High School, who have been waiting for this to matriculate and to this become a reality. And this today further cements our partnership. I also would say that the students that we have the honor to serve are waiting anxiously for the adults to get it right, and we got it right today.
Yeah.
It's going to change Harlingen for what we know it, UTRGV is a distributive model university, and we're part of that distribution. And so we're super excited for the possibilities. We were earlier visiting Dr. Bailey and visiting with Dr. Bailey, and already tossing out 2 or 3 more possible opportunities for partnerships. And so we are blessed to have Dr. Bailey and his staff to be part of Harlingen, and thank you for choosing us. While you may think we chose you, you chose us. And so we will not let you down, and we will protect your brand as you protect our brand. So thank you for what you
Yes.
do for the kids and our children throughout the valley.
Yes.
So we appreciate you.
And Doc, before you leave, I know you guys have busy schedules. I'd be remiss, Eladio has a great idea. We have a lot of our early college high school folks here, and if you're early college high school staff or even student, we'd love to take a picture with Dr. Bailey and the board here. If we can fit it all in, if we can make it happen, I think it'd be a great photo.
Let's do it.
In the words of our athletic director, he said, they like to take pictures at this district.
It was done on purpose. That's what I was thinking. However, or maybe you have voiced your concern. Yeah, you have voiced concern so it's that way I'm denying it, but however I'm allowing this. Yes. Okay. It's done on purpose, sir. It must have been done on purpose.
I think every night he was going by pouring gasoline on it.
What do we do with this empty space?
By the way, I just happen to have this.
Do we really need a globe or do we need a statue? Too funny.
Like on the water tower.
Thank you, and I know some of our guests may have to leave, and that's quite all right. We appreciate you being here. Thank you again, and safe travels back to.
Thank you, guys.
And thank you for the delicious meal.
At this time, we'll move into the awards and recognitions part of our meeting, and we'll go into item 4A. I'll ask Melissa Parker to present the next item, National Hispanic Recognition Program, and the National Merit Scholarship Program recognitions. Ms. Parker.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and members of the audience. This evening, we are recognizing the district's National Hispanic Scholars. The National Hispanic Recognition Program identifies academically outstanding Hispanic and Latino high school students. Each year, the NHRP honors about 5,000 of the highest scoring students from over 250,000 Hispanic Latino juniors who take the PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. Although the NHRP does not provide a financial reward, being named is an important academic recognition. NHRP is proud to honor outstanding students and makes this information available to colleges and universities that are particularly interested in communicating with academically exceptional Hispanic Latino students. Mr. President and Dr. Cavazos, would you please come forward to recognize this year's honorees? From Early College High School, we have Aaron Vidauri. From Harlingen High School South, Helen Carter. From Harlingen High School South, Alyssa de la Cruz. Also from Harlingen High School South, Kara Ingram. From Harlingen High School South, Steven Spack Garcia. I believe he's with us this evening. And also from South, Monica Villarreal. Okay, would the rest of the board please step down for photos with these students? Also being recognized tonight are the district's commended students in the National Merit Scholarship Program. The National Merit Scholarship Program is an academic competition for recognition and scholarships that began in 1955. High school students enter the National Merit Program by taking the preliminary SAT, National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. More than two-thirds, about 34,000 of the approximately 50,000 high scorers on the PSAT and MSQT received letters of commendation in recognition of their outstanding academic promise. This year's commended students from HCISD are from Early College High School, Aaron Vidari. And from Harlingen High School South, Catherine Duncan.
Great job. Yes.
Catherine is actually one of our freelance writers for today.
Yay! That's it. Great.
Mrs. Fleury, do you have any comments for these
So we
outstanding
started-
scholars, young scholars?
Yeah, I just want to say how excited we are, and we're really super proud of these young people. This is remarkable, really, to be able to achieve this level of academic accomplishment. You've really done it, and we are so happy for you. And the goals of the ones I was able to speak to are so high, and we appreciate that. That's our dream for you, is that your dreams will come true. And with the level of work that you have done to accomplish these significant honors, your work will be noticed elsewhere. And that's what we want. And so we're very, very proud of you. And I want to just say a moment about Melissa Parker. Because, some of us have been around for a long time. Some of us have been here longer than others. And I just believe that we are on the best footing and on the right track to really develop the academic achievement that this district is all about. So we've always been striving for it. But again, it takes leadership. And wherever Melissa is, I just want to say thank you.
Right
We
there.
really
She's right
count,
there.
there she is. We really count on you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This time, we'll move into item 4B, recognition of PTSA Students of the Month for November 2019. Ms. Brianna Vela Garcia, please.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. Tonight I will be recognizing our November PTSA Students of the Month. Our high school PTSAs work with Harlingen City Council PTA to inspire our school district community and engage our families. The students you will see on camera proudly represent the PTSAs of Harlingen High School, Harlingen High School South, Early College High School, and Harlingen School of Health Professions. This video was produced by a team of our Media Arts and Communications Academy students, and we hope y'all enjoy.
I'm Allie Guillen, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School. I'm the president of the Spanish Club, a member of PTSA, and the communications officer for TAFE, which is the Texas Association of Future Educators, and I'm the captain of the varsity volleyball team. I'm passionate about empowering others and giving back to my community. I plan on attending Our Lady of the Lake University, and I'm planning to get a minor in psychology and to major in communication sciences and disorders and to become a speech pathologist. I want to say thank you to all the staff and my teachers, most importantly, because they're the reason why I am who I am today.
My name's Erin Scoggins, and I'm a senior at Harlingen High School.
I'm a member of PTSA and I'm a 3-year varsity cheerleader. I'm passionate about giving back to others and my community. I'm going to attend the University of Texas at San Antonio, but I have not yet decided on my major.
My name is Joseph DeSilos and I attend Harlingen South High School, but I also go to the Harlingen Performing Arts Conservatory. Well, in the summers and during the school year, I do work closely with the National Hispanic Institute, but during the year, I also work with the National Honor Society, and I do lots of speech and debate. One thing I'm very passionate about is ultimately everybody standing up for what they believe in. I hope that everybody in the near future can vote and really stand up for what they believe in. Well, I'm applying to a lot of schools in and out of state, but hopefully I can get into UT Austin or Emerson in Boston to hopefully go into communications or theater production. And after school, I am hoping, being one of my biggest dreams, is to be a director on Broadway and hopefully working with one of the youngest casts on Broadway and directing a show. I would like to give an amazing shout out not only to my parents, but to my amazing directors from Harlingen South over the years, and to the Harlingen Performing Arts Conservatory. Although it is the first year, it is my last year being here, and I'm so grateful for getting this opportunity to work so closely with the arts and with coaches that have impacted my life every day.
My name is Sandra Peña. I'm a senior and I go to Harlingen High School South. I'm in senior class. I'm the vice president. I'm in National Honor Society and I'm in National Junior Classical League, and I'm the senior senator. I am passionate about making a good life for myself because I want to come back and help the community the most that I can, because I just want to make it a better place for everybody and make everyone want to go to college. I want to go to the University of Chicago and I want to study molecular biology and double major in political science, and then I want to become a physician after that and own my own clinic. I want to say thank you to my mom and my dad because they're so supportive of me and they love me a lot, and my grandma.
My name is Sebastian Reyna and I am attending Early College High School. I do not have a leadership role, but I am involved in PTSA, RGV Mentors, and a UAL computer science group. I'm passionate about video games and the game development involved in with it because it's interesting, and I have never grown up with anything like that, so it's a new experience to me. I want to go to Rice University and continue my education up to my PhD or my doctorates, and after college I want to pursue a career in a game development company.
My name is Jennifer Pacheco and I am a senior at Early College High School. I am currently in National Honor Society, Alice Prize, and PTSA. I am passionate about education. My parents have taught my sisters and I a lot about what an education means, and coming to early college has proven that. My plan after graduation is to attend UTSA or the University of Houston and study in architecture. I would like to thank my parents and my friends and my teachers.
My name is Samantha Benitez, and I'm a senior at Harlingen School of Health Professions. I am in volleyball, track, HOSA, and I am the secretary of Rotary Club. I am passionate about the medical field because my sophomore year of high school, I was diagnosed with optic neuritis, and I was inspired by the drive that the doctors had, and after that, I just knew that the medical field was the field that I wanted to pursue. I plan to go to school to St. Mary's in San Antonio and study physical therapy, and after college I plan to be a physical therapist. I want to thank my mom because she always supported me and helped me through all of my problems throughout high school.
My name is Alyssa Pruitt. I'm in 12th grade and I go to the Harlingen School of Health Professions. The activities I am in is book club, tech team, and student council. I'm passionate about the medical field because I want to be a vet tech, and I am very passionate about poetry and literature. The college I plan to go to is Texas State University in San Marcos because I want to study biology and zoology. I want to thank the staff and my teachers and my family and my friends for always believing in me and cheering me on.
Okay, and so at this time, I'd like to ask the students of the month that are in the audience to stand and be recognized. I would also like to ask their parents, grandparents, or any family members to also stand and be recognized. I know y'all all enjoyed the video, so it'll be on our YouTube page starting tomorrow. So at this time, I would like to ask our Vice President of the Harlingen City Council, Beatriz Cruz, to come forward. And then if Dr. Cavazos and Dr. Perez, if y'all could come forward for a photo so we can present our students with some certificates. Okay, so from Harlingen High School, we have Ali Guillen. We also have Aaron Scoggins. From Harlingen High School South, we have Joseph DeSilos. We also have Sandra Pena. From Early College High School, we have Sebastian Reyna. We also have Jennifer Pacheco. From Harlingen School of Health Professions, we have Alyssa Pruitt. Okay, and we also have Samantha Benitez. Okay, and we have a full house of all of our PTSA students here. I'd like to ask our board to come forward for a photo with our Students of the Month. And yes, any family members that want to come forward to take pictures too, please.
Everyone look at George. Okay, everyone stay there. Find a spot and smile.
Well, thank you to our exceptional students, and thanks for the parents for being here as well. Really means a lot. At this time, we'll move into item 4C, Government Finance Officers Association Award. Mr. Shane Strubar.
Thank you, Mr. President, trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. The Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting has been awarded to Harlingen Consolidated Independent School District by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States of America and Canada for its comprehensive annual financial report for the 10th consecutive year. The report, prepared by our Business Services Department, has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. Furthermore, this award is indicative of the high expectations our district holds for financial transparency. ACISD understands that maintaining and creating new opportunities for students is contingent upon a district that recognizes the importance of being fiscally responsible and transparent to its community. Mr. President, Dr. Cavazos, would you please come forward to help us recognize our outstanding business office personnel who made this possible? The following individuals were instrumental in making this achievement possible. Our ACISD internal auditor, Nellie Ledesma. I'll call everybody for a group photo. Director of Accounting, Ida Ambriz. Administrator for Business Services, Ramon Mendoza. He's crunching the numbers back in the back somewhere. Director of Data Systems and Performance Outcomes, Olga Garcia. And last, but certainly not least, our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Julio Cavazos. Can we get all the trustees down?
So this is the team, right?
The team. The A team. Right?
They let us all.
Well, I'm not sure how many years in a row. It's been 10 years, but it sounds like it's, by my recollection, it's been quite a few. But anyway, congrats again to you, Julio, and your team. Amazing transparency, but also attention to detail. And I was just mentioning to Nellie that even in higher ed, there's a lot more focus with auditing and really advising and consulting, and really being part of the team and helping, and not just creating these gotcha moments and things like that. And so we've been doing that here for years. So
We
appreciate
certainly appreciate her efforts, and the internal audit department, as well as the rest of the staff in the business office, for doing another great job again this year.
Thank you so much.
Mr. President.
Ms. Floria, please.
You know, I think we talk internally so often about you all and how proud we are and how grateful we are and how you've led us in this district to excellence. But I think it's worth noting how much this is talked about in the community. Because when we have conversations in the community, you know, I'm sort of, as an old first grade teacher, itching to get around to the curriculum issues and talking about all of our new transformation and everything we're doing. But what the community wants to talk about is the financial integrity of this school district. And as recently as this week, I was engaged in a conversation, and it was led off by talking about how many years is it now that you all have had this excellence that you have. And so I just think that we need to stop for a moment and say that with our community partners, what you are doing is highly significant, and it is well recognized. So thank you for giving us that gift. Thank you. Yeah.
Excellent. Well said. With that, we'll move into item 4D, HCISD Aquatic Center Award presented by Janek Architects. Mr. Strubart, will you please introduce the item?
Thank you, Mr. President, trustees, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. At this time, I would like to invite to the podium a dear friend of HCISD and former Harlingen High School graduate, Mr. Raymond Janek, to present an award for the board.
I think he went to school with my sister.
I think so. Well, we're here to present an award. There were over 20 submissions, either by Corpus Christi architects or architects from around the state that had done work in South Texas. And out of the 5 awards that were awarded, one was your Aquatic Center, which we're all very proud of. It was a team effort with not only the board, the administration, but the staff. And as some of you might remember, we had some challenges during the construction period, but we came through it, and we're very proud of it. And obviously, our peers are, and I hope you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Raymond.
Oh, let's take a photo, please, the trustees.
Sandra, you want to join us over here?
So I just want to quickly tell everybody that I do water aerobics in that building, and it is so gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much for being here, Mr. Janak. Always good to be in your presence and always good to working with you again, so thank you. With that, we'll move to item 5, approval of the minutes. We have for consideration the October 8th regular board meeting minutes.
I move approval of the October 8, 2019 regular board meeting minutes.
Second.
Motion by Dr. Reiner, second by Mr. Hymas. Any further discussion or questions or clarifications or changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. At this time, we'll entertain a motion for approval of consent calendar unless any member has a single item that they want to pull for consideration.
I move we approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Power, second by Ms. Fleury. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. And at this time, we'll ask Brenda McKinney to step forward.
Brenda's
Please.
not here.
She's not here?
Oh.
Uh-oh. Who's?
Somebody's stepping in for
Uh-oh.
Brenda McKinney, another
Uh-oh.
elementary
Okay,
principal.
another elementary is-
No
okay.
stranger, Ginger
No
Armstrong.
stranger,
absolutely.
All right, well, Ginger, we'll ask you now to present the principal's report. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having us. We'll get this started. All right, good evening, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, administration, and audience. I am obviously not Brenda McKinney. I'm Ginger Armstrong, principal at Sam Houston Elementary Dual Language Academy. Ms. McKinney regrets that she was unable to be here tonight as she is representing our district at the National Association for the Education of Young Children Conference. So we're very proud of her for that and excited about it. And of course, we are truly a team here at HCISD, so I was more than happy to step in and assist our sister school in Ben Milam Dual Language Academy in sharing about the expansion of the guided reading program in our district. So finding programs to support our district's goals of high-quality instruction as well as individualized learning is a priority for all of our design teams. For reading at the elementary level, the Scholastic Guided Reading Program does exactly that. It provides individualized instruction that is very targeted based on student data and using really quality literature, so it really engages our students. This combination promotes our students' growth not only in reading skills at all levels, not just lower, but medium and high, but it also builds reading confidence. Reading confidence can also build an enjoyment of reading, and it is so important for every student at this crucial age to experience that. The program implementation began last year with kinder through second grades and is continuing this year, third through fifth grades. We're very excited to see the growth. To give a glimpse into what guided reading looks like in action with teachers and students in our district, I would like to invite Mrs. Rosie Fuentes to share about the influence that guided reading has had at Ben Milam.
Good evening. My name is Rosie Fuentes, and I am the proud assistant principal at Ben Milam Dual Academy. And joining me today is
Leslie Ruiz, I'm the instructional coach at Ben Milam Dual Language Academy.
We are so excited to share how our guided reading program impacts our campus on a daily basis and what a difference it is making in student participation and engagement.
An important part of guided reading is data collection. In order for students to be properly grouped, teachers do running records in which they use the data to group the students appropriately.
Through the data collection of running records, the teacher is able to formulate his or her reading groups in order to provide prescriptive instruction that targets the area of need and thus show student progress that will allow students to move on to the next level.
Through the groupings, teachers then have access to over 5,000 different titles in our leveled libraries.
When you step foot into our leveled reading libraries, you will see an array of leveled readers that target specific reading levels and skills. You will also see our amazing teachers utilizing their conference periods to plan for the next reading lesson.
Once titles have been selected, then implementation takes place. And when you walk into a classroom and you see teachers doing a guided reading lesson, you'll see them working with a group of students, about 4 to 6, and they do their grouping rotations every 20 minutes. So while the teacher's working with the small group, the other students are independently working in instructional literacy centers. The grouping is flexible, dynamic, it minimizes frustration, and maximizes student learning thus fostering the love for reading. This enables student collaboration and conversation, and it allows for the students to have a self-confidence boost.
The beauty of these leveled reading rotations is that they are at the students' reading level, where they feel comfortable participating and engaging with teachers and their peers. This form of differentiated instruction will promote active readers. So now, we will show you a glimpse of what guided reading looks like at Ben Milam Dual Language Academy.
And our hope is that through guided reading, students will grow and surpass our target goals in the areas of early childhood and academic readiness, as stating in our Realizing Our Dream 2.1.
Guided reading is differentiated instruction for students. It's tailoring to the students' needs. The teacher has an opportunity to scaffold for students, and the ultimate goal is for them to become independent readers.
Guided reading is a special program that specifically teaches the students how to read at their instructional level. And it is fabulous because since they're at levels, they feel like they're succeeding, they're not struggling, and the children like it.
My favorite part about reading is we can practice doing our words, and we can make a sentence. The favorite part about reading is because the pictures, they look so cute, and I really like them. And when I see a dog one, I just like want to keep it. And when I see a cat book, I want to keep it too. I like to read because you get to think, you get to read, and you get to have fun with your friends reading.
We follow the Daily 5, and these are my learning centers, and I try to incorporate not only a little bit of everything, but in the morning it's the literacy, and it's all based on guided reading, the sight words, family words, reading out loud, the library, the computers, the iPads. So yes, they really look forward to those centers.
And I think it's great for any student to work in a small guided reading group. We work one-on-one with the teacher. You will see improvement and results. You're reading a text, which is very important for students. The only way they get better is through reading. So you give them that time to read, and you also, as a teacher, have an opportunity to scaffold for the students and work one-on-one with them with their needs.
I think everyone can do this because it's important. Because they need to listen and they need to think. I really think they should do that, so they could pass to another grade, and they could go to college and they could be whatever they want to be and get their degree.
Scholastic is doing a fantastic job, with this new program, and we like it, and I see the progress. The children like it, and as you can see, they're very excited and eager, and this is a daily thing. So if they're excited, then I think we're doing good. We're doing something good.
So because of the effectiveness and the impact guided reading is making at our Ben Milam Dual Language Academy, our future looks so bright.
Endless opportunities are possible through guided reading in that reading Lexile levels will show improvement, students will be reading on grade level with less MTSS support, it'll increase our accelerator participation, and students will be successful across all content areas.
And joining us tonight is our lovely kindergarten teacher, Miss Cano. Will you please stand up? She is our teacher that is showcased in our video. Joining us also tonight is our amazing counselor who always supports our campus and district initiatives. That's Ms. Salazar.
So guided reading is a really great program. Something I really enjoy about it is watching our students, and I know they're experiencing this at Milam as well as across our district, really getting to see students interact with the literature at a level that really touches them and they're able to access. So you could have a student reading at 6th grade level, there's a book for them, and a very fun, engaging book. They could be in kindergarten through 5th grade. It's all available to them and very accessible for teachers. So we're very excited that every single elementary school in Harlingen has this, and all the teachers have been trained through 5th grade. So the implementation is going well, and it's wonderful to see children enjoying true literature. Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity, and thank you for inviting me to help out with this. They did such a wonderful job. And at this time, we welcome any questions or comments that you have.
Thank you, Ginger, and thanks you for pinch hitting for Brenda. Very nice of you, and great job, great presentation. Any comments or questions from the board, please?
I think it's wonderful, and Dr. Cavazos was pointing out quietly, he said, Jerry, this is the game changer. And so thank you all for adopting this and with such, such integrity to the program. We've had lots of good programs go through here, and I remember it as $500,000. The superintendent remembers it as $1 million many years ago on a reading program that we just simply could not get integrity to the program. And it makes all the difference in the world that you're enthusiastic about it and that you're highly trained and that you're working it. And, it just makes sense that when you work with students on their reading level and then move them up as fast as you can, it will work. And so thank you. And I also appreciate the specificity, individualized training can have toward the needs of the children, because I think this would also, am I correct, it would also in its own way be helping our dyslexic children. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it is so specific and structured. Thanks. I think it sounds fabulous. I'd love to see it.
Dr. Reiner, please.
I just wanted to add, as I was listening to this, it just strikes me that it's the foundation for everything. They're going to certainly excel in their reading opportunities through this, but it sets the stage for every other class that they're in, and so it truly is just a game changer. It's momentous, and I'm so glad we have something like this, and it's crafted to children's needs. So thank you for the work and bringing it to us so we can learn more about it.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say, just having recently visited a few this past couple of weeks, several elementary schools, and one of them was nice enough to honor this board for breakfast for the honor board of the year. But when we visited Bowie, we actually had it in their leveled reading room, the breakfast, and they, with pride, talked about how they were utilizing this to really help the students. And then just yesterday we visited Lamar Elementary, and again, one of the showcases, you need to come see what we're doing here, and there was teachers in there working and really making plans for their students, and it really spoke exactly what you're talking about how prescriptive it was and purposeful, and the whole concept of individualizing it, and then but quickly sort of challenging them to scaffold and go up to whenever the right time is. And it's interesting because one of the students, he said, "Oh, you need to meet this student," and it was a student in the 4th or 5th grade who didn't pass the benchmark, didn't even come close the last year, but now with this program, the guided reading program, he's just done remarkable. And he told me, she said, ask him, and he just bragged about how really impactful it was to him and how he really enjoyed it. And you could just tell that it's almost like you could see he has a love of learning now, and how inspiring it was. And as we were walking out, the principal said, I just can't wait till he takes the test because I know he's going to do phenomenal. And I'm just thinking like, wow, and so thank you, Ginger, for being here. But thanks for the work across the entire district, because I know this is happening at every campus, and some obviously like your campus in Ben Milam it's dual language, and so it's, I mean, it's incredible the impact it's going to have to these students. So, and how timely that one of the students, we talk about college and career readiness all the time, and we talk about how you can back map it back to the 3rd grade, and if you're not reading at grade level at grade 3, the chance of you being college and career ready is something like, less than 10%. It's just not going to happen, and then one of the young students mentions that this is so important because you want to go to college and get a degree and get I mean, obviously somebody's trying to get them off their payroll. Is that,
that's right.
But obviously good parenting there. But I tell you, it really is amazing the impact this is going to have. And Dr. Ronier is right. I mean, this is, literacy is foundational to every single job, every single skill, every single, career. And so this is really important. So thank you all for the work you do. And Dr. Cavazos, would you like to say?
Yeah, just real quick, I want to recognize our Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Education, Mrs. Lori Romero, for the incredible job you've done to roll this out with Carmen Alvarez. So let's give it up to Lori. I also want to say that, Ms. Armstrong, you've made Brenda McKinney proud. She is doing the important work as well where she is. But I had a chance to visit Ms. Armstrong's campus, and you're doing an incredible job with the IB candidacy program. So thank you for what you all are doing to transform HCISD. You all are remarkable. So thank you. And thank you, kinder teachers. So you're doing a great job. So appreciate it.
Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. That was excellent. At this time, do we have any, we do have a public member to speak on non-agenda topic. And like Dr. Ronier said, you're inspiring our kiddos in the classroom as well, so thank you for that. We really appreciate you. Yeah. With that, we'll move into item 10. 10A, discussion and approval of Keys Academy Targeted Improvement Plan. And I'll ask Joseph Villarreal to come forward to present the item.
Alrighty, good evening, President Dr. Pettis, board members, senior team, audience. Believe it or not, for the past 27 years, Keys Academy has been educating students, such as moms, dads, students at risk, students that maybe have difficulty in large school environments. The staff, the school, the teachers, the administration has changed and saved lives. But like with everything else, there's always room for improvement. And in the 2018-2019 Texas Education Agency Accountability System, there was one indicator in there that named Keys as a campus in need of comprehensive support. And as part of that comprehensive support, we were tasked with developing a targeted improvement plan that will address that one sole indicator. So at this time, Mr. Nieto and I would like to take the opportunity to explain why Keys was named as a campus in need of comprehensive support. And then after that, we will explain what the campus and what the district is doing to rectify that. So I'd first like to call your attention to the accountability overall for Keys Academy. As you can see there, it was issued a D, a letter D rating, because it received a 68. But if you look at Domain 1 student achievement, that takes into account every single STAR and EOC exam that's administered on the campus, from algebra, English 1, English 2, biology, U.S. history, they scored a 78, which was an increase from the prior year of 73. On Domain 2 school progress, which shows how students perform from one year to the next, they scored an 80, which was an increase from 65 the previous year. So great gains in the area of school progress. And the one area which impacted Keys was Domain 3, closing the gaps. Being that Keys Academy does not receive any sort of federal funding, the only indicator that TEA looks at in Domain 3, closing the gaps for Keys Academy is their 4-year graduation rate because of federal guidelines. They do not look at 5-year graduation rates, and they do not look at 6-year. They only look at the 4-year. And they look at the prior year. So for the 2018-2019 school year, TEA looked at the cohort of 2018. So the students that just graduated in class of 2019 will be looked at for next year's accountability system. And based on that 4-year rate, Keys had 43% of those students graduating high school. They had 34 of the 79 students that belonged to that cohort in the class of 2018. I do want to call your attention to the data that you see on this screen that's showing that students are graduating from Keys Academy, but they're taking a little bit more time, and that is the purpose of Keys Academy for those students. So for example, the cohort 2016, their 4-year graduation rate was 49. The following year, they gained more students. They were up to 65%. And then 6 years later, the 6-year graduation rate, which is 2 years later, they were at 74. So they had 57 of 77 students graduate from the program. So you can see there that they are graduating. It's just taking them a little bit more time. And we do have some preliminary numbers there. If you look at cohort 2019, so those are students that just graduated this past May, we are at 70%, which would be an increase from that 43 the previous year. So if TA had used that cohort 2019 number for this year's accountability system, Keys would not be in the situation in which is in need of comprehensive support. And so there's great work being done by Mr. Nieto, the counselors, the teachers, and we'll be explaining what that great work looks like. And so that is the sole reason that Keys Academy was named as a campus in need of comprehensive support. One thing that we are doing is tracking the number of students that exist right now in the cohort 2020 at Keys Academy. And we have a total of 20 students. And of those 20, students with 5 or less credits remaining are 18. So we only have 2 students in that cohort for the class of 2020 that need 5 or more credits, which is pretty amazing if you look at that number there. Only 2 students that are 6 or more behind. Students that are needing 2 or less EOCs, which is the graduation test they take, it's 4. And of the 20, 14 are done with all 5 of their EOCs to graduate. So tremendous work is being done. And you can see that when you look at Domain 1 and Domain 2 on that previous slide with the great performance by the students. As part of the Targeted Improvement Plan, one thing that we have to submit to TA is what we are doing currently on that campus to rectify the situation. And as you can see from the class of 2019 that just graduated, it is working. So one of the prioritized focus areas is that the campus will provide additional credit retrieval opportunities for students to remain on track to graduate within 4 years. So again, students were graduating, it was just taking them a little bit more time, but we're trying really hard to get them to graduate in 4 years. And so the desired outcome is to have at least 70% of the cohort 2020 to graduate within 4 years. And based on the class of 2019, we're going to hit that target. And one thing that Mr. Nieto and the staff is doing there at Keys Academy is providing a mentorship program. And so they met with, and we started this program actually last year, and so they trained the teachers and they trained the counselors on a mentorship program, and that includes weekly meetings, one-on-one meetings, whether it be with Mr. Nieto and a student, a counselor and a student, a teacher and a student, and they talk about their situation. They talk about how many credits they need, EOCs that they need to graduate. They look at character education. They just listen to the student's story and try to provide as much help as possible. They work very closely with the Dr. Jose Luis Cavazos' office in parental involvement to provide any sort of services that these students need, any sort of counseling that they need. And so all of that is a direct result of that mentorship program that they have there. And so they meet with them once a week. Another thing that we've done is expanded the credit retrieval opportunities to after school and Saturday academies. So they're opening up Keys Academy on certain Saturdays and after school to allow students to still come in and continue working on their coursework. So as you recall, Keys Academy does have face-to-face instruction with a teacher, but also students that can work on computer modules to obtain credit. And so we're trying to provide as many opportunities so that they can stay on track to graduate in 4 years. Another area that we're looking at is monitoring student attendance. If students aren't in school, they're going to have difficulty getting enough credits to graduate on time, and as well not being able to pass their EOCs. And so we want to make sure that we're pressing for student attendance. And the desired outcome right now is an 83.4 attendance rate, and I'm proud to say, and Mr. Nieto is very proud to say, that they're currently sitting at 86%, correct, of daily attendance there at Keys Academy. And so they do that. They monitor student attendance weekly. They meet with the students that are missing out on a daily basis. Mr. Nieto's in the hallways talking to kids that aren't showing up to class and making phone calls, making home visits. and to make sure that they're there, and also, you know, providing incentives to students to entice them and encourage them and motivate them to come to school. And based on the data, it is working. So we're very happy with that. And our final focus area is providing EOC remediation opportunities. And so we do have some students that take more than one opportunity to pass their EOC. And of course, the desired outcome is for students to pass all 5 EOCs. And if you look at that previous data, we have 18 of the 20 students that are seniors that have already passed all 5 EOCs. So we're really excited there. And what they do is they monitor student attendance and performance in the EOC remediation sessions. So students are receiving specific targeted instruction on their EOCs during the school day, and it's prescriptive, meaning it's based on the EOC data and benchmark data. So students are only receiving remediation based on the area in which they need, and that is all revealed through the data that the teachers look at, and they are conducting weekly PLCs with the teachers to review that data and instruction. We want to provide as much targeted instruction as possible for students to make sure that they are successful on the 5 EOCs. And so those are the 3 areas in which we're focusing. And so at this time, I would like to open it up to any questions or comments that we have from you all.
Well, Mr. Villarreal, we would really like to hear from Mr. Nieto. He's trying to take all the credit, sir. Could you please make any corrections or anything?
Additions, deletions.
We know he's not doing the work. That's for
No, a lot of support from central office, especially the strategists last year. A lot of this improvement was because the strategists and Mr. Villarreal provided those personnel to help assist the teachers, and they did a wonderful job. All 4 strategists and Mr. Villarreal, and of course the on-site support team that visited us once a month also provided a lot of support. That's why those results occurred. And of course, the staff, not necessarily myself or Mr. Villarreal, but the staff that we have there does an excellent job with students.
Well, just personal, and maybe I can speak collectively for this board, just a moment of pride that we, you know, when we got our Forced B by the state, you know, it was a time of reflection, but when you think about where it came from, as you both so eloquently just did, it really speaks to who we are as a district, because we're here to see all students succeed. You know, to try to create equity and opportunities and get all kids across the finish line. And yet here we are tonight talking about how we're doing just that. We're not doing this just to get an A. We're not doing this just for a grade or just for some test or whatever. You really are doing this to transform, you know, students' lives. And we really appreciate you trying to look for opportunities to get them, you know, across the finish line. So thank you for doing that and focusing in that you know, and really looking for those opportunities. It really means a lot, and it's a great culture. Every time we go there, it's just the students are happy to be there, and some even have the opportunity, I know, over the years to go back to their, you know, main campus and choose to stay there, which Correct. Is a testament to your leadership and the culture there at the campus. So I'm sure other board members may have questions or comments.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I just want to say how much I appreciate what happens at your campus. We all have many different routes that we can take to get through life, and there is nothing more important than having people alongside you in whatever route you take. And these students deserve the very best, and the way you're implementing the changes, and the data that you're showing us shows that you're giving them our very best. And we just, you know, we're not successful if we're not successful with your students. And so I'm so thankful to hear this information.
Thank you.
I would like to say thank you also. We're proud of Keys Academy, Mr. Nieto. We want you to know that. We're very proud. I think all of us have been around a few bends here, and as Belinda eloquently said, you know, there's so many different pathways that students can take, and we do recognize that your students come with special issues, special problems, special challenges that I frankly did not have in my life. Correct. And I doubt that I could have done anywhere nearly as well as what they do. And I would like for you to communicate to your teachers and to your students any opportunities that you can, how proud we are of what you're doing. It's important work. And I would like to share with you that when this board was competing during the interview for Board of the Year, we talked about how proud we are of Keys Academy. And yes, we understand that we made the B, the forced B, but one of this members of this board talked about the fact that we own that with pride, because we are so, we're honored in this district to truly believe that we work with all of our students, and they are all our children. So we just want to say thank you. And of course, you're going to make it. You're doing fine. And whenever we start to really focus on things and get help with the focus on things, it usually works. You're going to be just fine.
Correct.
We never doubted that for a minute, but we're proud of what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It is, yeah, and I will say that also I love the enrichment and the mentoring and the enrichment, the weekend enrichment opportunities and things like that. Thank you so much for doing that.
And again, you all have provided the resources. Central office team has provided the resources for our teachers and for our students, like Ms. Floria said. And we'll go forward, continue to work with all students. I believe Dr. Cavazos mentioned at one of the meetings that HCISD works with all students, and you all mentioned it again today.
Thank you, sir. And this is an action item, so I will entertain a motion for item 10A.
So I'll move approval of the Keys Academy Targeted Improvement Plan as presented.
Motion by Dr. Reiner, second by Mr. Hymas. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Thank you very much, and great job, Joseph. Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll ask Dr. Noyola to present the next item, Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee Report. Dr. Noyola.
Thank you, Mr. President, board members, Dr. Cavazos, senior team, and audience. At the November 5th Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee meeting, we brought forward 2 topics for discussion. The first topic was titled HCISD Recruitment and Retention Plan. And at that presentation, we had our marketing coordinator, Brianna Vela Garcia, conduct that presentation. As part of her presentation, she revealed the new recruitment video and the slogan, "No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD." So if you'll indulge me for 1 minute, because it's about as long as the video is, I'd like to share our recruitment video with those of you that were unable to be present, but also with our viewing audience, because this video really shares the story and tells the story of HCISD with our community.
Welcome to Harlingen CISD。在我们的学区里，所有的学校都朝多元化发展。
Onze verscheidenheid maakt van ons een sterkere gemeenschap.
Chúng tôi học viện sự đa dạng từ gia đình, giáo viên và bạn học của chúng tôi ở HCISD. Nos enseña destreza que trasciende de todos los países.
La capacité de communiquer, de collaborer, de penser de manière critique et créative.
Мы вас приглашаем в путешествие, потому что
no matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish in HCISD.
Very well done.
So this video will be used as we really tell the story of HCISD across this district and beyond. So beginning in early 2020, this video will be used at all of our campuses and by our administrators as they highlight our school district. They certainly have been provided some talking points that they're able to share certainly with their staff. Dr. Cavazos always talks about how we have 3,000 marketing people in our district, and that is all of our staff who really are in positions to tell the story of HCISD. So in the next few months, as part of our recruitment and retention plan, we will specifically be targeting our kindergarten, first and second grade populations, as well as our sixth grade levels. Those are transitions that are critical for our students and for our parents, and so we'll be using some of this information to highlight. Certainly, we talk a lot about experiencing HCISD, and over the last few days, nowhere has that been more evident as we've been highlighting our specialty schools. over the last few. We've had two specialties, or actually 3 specialty schools that have gone through the process of highlighting what they bring to our students, and to see the audience and the number of people that are showing up to these sessions, really looking to take advantage of the opportunities that our school district provides, really highlights the incredible work that Shane Struphart, our Administrator for Public Relations and Community Engagement, and certainly the fabulous work that Brianna Vela Garcia does in highlighting what is going on and telling the story of HCISD. So I want to take a minute to just commend them and thank them for all of their work, because it's through their efforts that we really are able to highlight the work that we do in HCISD. So we can give them a big round of applause along with the rest of their team. Our second presentation was introduced by Joseph Villarreal, along with our Assistant Superintendent for Secondary Education, as well as Dan Garza, our Director for Special Education. As part of their presentation, they provided an update on our Transition Academy. So when we talked earlier about serving all our populations and addressing every student in our district, nowhere is that more evident in the work that we're doing with our Transition Academy, which is really designed to impact our special populations and meet their needs. So as part of that presentation, Mr. Villarreal and Mr. Garza shared with our committee the work that's been happening with Megamorphosis, our architects. They exhibited an aerial view of the site for the new academy, which will be located on the corner by our Harlingen School of Health Professions. They shared a proposed floor plan. They provided some snapshots of the neighboring homes, because our goal is to create a transition or an academy that really looks similar to that neighborhood, so that it becomes part of that community. In addition, they provided some renderings of the exterior views of the academy building. Our goal is certainly to open this building in fall of 2020 and have it available for our students as they begin the 2020-21 school year. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to our chairperson, Dr. Belinda Reiniger, who chairs that Transforming Teaching and Learning Committee meetings, to see if she would like to share any additional comments.
Thank you so much. You know, there is so much that happens at every one of these committee meetings. It's really incredible, and this one was no different. It was packed full of opportunity to hear what's been planned, and then to provide a lot of input. And you know, I guess I don't know that everybody realizes that in these board meetings how much action happens in the committee meetings, but it's because the planning is so great that we have substance to react to. So on both accounts, great work was being done. The recruitment and retention plan, as was said, Brianna Vela Garcia presented this plan. It's thoughtful, it's comprehensive. There was no stone left unturned. There's talking points, there is engagement of community member. It's stellar. I'm so excited to see this put into place. And that's the other thing that's really exciting about these committee meetings is, you know, here's an idea, and before you know it, it's developed, and then before you know it, it's implemented. I mean, we're going to have a transition academy in fall of 2020. So on to that point, Mr. Joseph Villarreal and Dan Garza presented the Transition Academy. This is such an incredible opportunity for our district to serve a group of students who otherwise would not have these opportunities. It is tremendous to see how they're going to have part of their day filled with academic learning, and then part of their day filled in this beautiful Transition Academy learning life skills. It will once again set HCISD apart, and I can't wait to see it. The floor plans are coming along beautifully. We got to give a lot of input. It's going to be a tremendous building, just like the one we were talking about earlier too. Yeah. So there are so many good things, but I thank you so much for the opportunity to talk about these committees and to see ideas just immediately put into place. It was a great meeting.
Thank you for your leadership as well, Dr. Reiniger, and I also want to add on to the thanks and the gratitude we have for you, Dr. Cavazos, for bringing us substantive agenda items for those committee meetings. They're really impactful, they're meaningful, and again, not a lot of boards get the opportunity to dive in so early in the planning process for some of these significant work that's going to really change the lives of our students. And we're appreciative of the trust you have in us to really bring it to us so early in the planning stages. Thank you.
I want to thank the staff. You all are doing an incredible job. Thank you for another great committee meeting.
At this time, yes, here we go. At this time, moving to item 12A, Mr. Julio Cavazos, consideration and approval of the 2018-2019 independent audit.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 12A is consideration and approval of 2018-19 independent audit. Our external auditor, Quentin Anderson, presented the report to the audit committee earlier today. We had an unmodified clean opinion with a healthy fund balance. Mr. Anderson is here to brief the board and to answer any questions the board might have, so I'm going to just have Quentin come over, and if the board has any questions for Mr. Anderson, he'll be happy to answer.
Thank you for being here, Quentin.
Yes.
Any questions or any, would you like to?
I just want to reiterate what Mr. Cavazos said. The district's financial records reflected a good fund balance. You saw from the presentation from Mr. Strubhart, you received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, and you've got a good track record of doing that, meaning you place a lot of importance into financial reporting. And the financial statement also had compliance information in it, and it reflected favorably on the district too, with no matters of non-compliance and no significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in control processes. So.
Ms. Fleury is the chair of the committee. If she'd like to add anything, Ms. Fleury.
Thank you. Well, once again, it was such a pleasure and a privilege to hear a 200-page report in 30 minutes, and it was really well done. Thank you, because it was all positive. Thank you so much. It really is an honor to serve on a board and in a district where we can discuss items that are as important as a financial integrity report and compliance issues and have a clean report. So we appreciate it, Quentin, one more year, one more time, and we appreciate your ability to summarize things eloquently.
Thank you.
Thank you, and with that, we'll entertain a motion. This is a action item.
I would like to move, Mr. President, the approval of the 2018-2019 independent audit as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Fleury, second by Dr. Reiniger. Any further discussion? And I will just add, like I mentioned earlier about the first award, you as well, we appreciate the consulting and the advising you do with them, and the really great synergy. You work with the team so well, and we appreciate that because it does help their work, and it does help them do a great job, and really appreciate that. So oftentimes these external audits and other folks, it can be a little bit of a testy relationship, but you do it so well, and we greatly appreciate the expertise and your consulting and advising that you do for our district. Thank you.
Thank you.
If no
Probably
other
helps that
discussion,
he's one of our own.
say it. I'm sorry.
Probably helps that he's one of our own.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Hearing no other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Anderson. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, we'll move into matters relating to district operations. Mr. Oscar Tapia had to step away for an emergency, and Mr. Julio Cavazos will be presenting these items. Item 13A, approval of final construction payment to Noble Texas Builders for the Vernon World Languages Academy Phase 1 renovations.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, and board members. Agenda item 13A is approval of final construction payment to Noble Texas Builders for the Vernon World Language Academy. They submitted a final payment of $4,936.35. We recommend to release the final payment to Noble Texas Builders. We're satisfied with their work, so we recommend approval.
I move approval of final construction payment to Noble Texas Builders for the Vernon World Languages Academy Phase 1 renovations.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Ms. Fleury. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. Item 13B, approval of final construction payment to Peacock General Contractors, Inc. for the canopy improvements.
Thank you, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Cavazos, and board members. Agenda item 13B is approval of final construction payment to Peacock General Contractors. This is for the canopy improvements at Zavala, Arlington High School and South. We're recommending to release a final payment of $7,438. We're satisfied with the work, so we recommend approval to release the final payment. Be glad to answer any questions.
I move for approval of final construction payment to Peacock General Contractors for the canopy improvements.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Powers, second by Dr. Reiniger. Any further discussion? Hearing all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. And finally, our Facilities Committee report. Mr. Cavazos.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Perez, Dr. Cavazos, board members. Agenda item 13C is the Facility Committee report that we held November the 5th, 2019. Mr. Tapia updated the committee members on the update of the City of Harlingen TxDOT Safe Route to School grant. Mr. Tapia informed the committee that the city did not get that grant, but we'll continue to try and see if we can fund those sidewalks somehow. He also presented the child nutrition cafeteria furniture and wall decor upgrades at Vela Middle School. The final furniture design has been approved. They also went over the 2017-18 electrical energy consumption report, showed an overall decrease of about 4.5% in kilowatt hours this past year, with an overall cost decrease of about 3.4%, which is pretty good. Also, update on the TRE program, the Treasure Hills Elementary new classroom wing addition. Construction is about 83%. Estimate the construction should be done hopefully by December sometime. But we're moving forward with that. Security fences work at Harlingen High School South and Cano. Harlingen South campus will be ready for vehicle gate operations on November the 5th. We're still working on the Cano and Harlingen High School to get those completed by the end of November. He also reported on the gym flooring at improvements at Harlingen South and Gutierrez. Contractor has installed and sealed the new flooring at Gutierrez and Middle School that were damaged by the water penetration, and about 70% of the bleachers have been installed. Elementary school multipurpose building, the new wall panels have been completed. The last remaining school is Milam. Hopefully we can get those done. Also presented on the re-roofing of Lamar Elementary School and the district operation entry canopy. The War Language Academy Phase 2. The contractor, as we can see with all the work that has been out there, has been digging the trenches and the irrigation system as well. They're about 80% done. Harlingen High School and Middle School tennis resurfacing projects, we have awarded that project to Tenny Track, and they should be starting here within the next month or so. Same thing with the Golf Skills Station. Project was awarded to Peacock Construction, and hopefully they'll get started here within another month or so. Just talk about the change orders for the final payments, and I also presented the construction funds financial report. Mr. Powers is the chair of the committee, if you'd like to add anything.
Just Treasure Hills is coming along well. I think it's going to be real exciting next year when we open that. I think the contractor's doing a really good job, particularly with all the weather problems they had earlier in the year. The fencing looks like Oscar's got that underway, and it's going to be finished here shortly. And they're making the corrections that is going to give us a first-class security fence. Vernon is coming along great. I'm anxious to see the sprinkler system installed, and we may have to remove a tree, but other than that, we're in good shape.
May I ask about Vernon? Mr. Powers and Mr. Cavazos, I was wondering, I heard the 80% completion, but what is the date by which we really are planning on Vernon being accompli?
Phase 2, Elisa?
So we're getting ready to finish phase 1, which is all of the work that you're seeing outside, so we anticipate that happening sometime before we leave for the Christmas break. Certainly we have some additional phases that are coming in, so we'll still have the globe piece that's put out there. We have a courtyard on the inside of the school that's still in the process of being coordinated. And then we're also going to do some painting areas inside as well. So there's still some work to be done. We anticipate that being all completed by the end of next year.
But the additional accoutrement, the things we're putting up outside that are going to be so fantastic.
The globe? You're talking about the
surprises, that's by Christmas.
So all of the landscaping we anticipate being done before we leave for the holidays. Yeah. Our globe, we anticipate that coming in sometime before spring break. And then the interior work will continue beyond this phase now that we have, as we receive approval for the next phases.
Well, I did have the privilege of being there last night, and as I was walking out, there was a darling little boy, and I said, "Oh, this is a great school, isn't it?" Assuming he was a student there, and his mother said, "He has made the decision. He's coming here. He was going to STEM Academy until he came here tonight." They said, "This is it. It's done." He is so excited. It was really fun to talk to people like that.
We did find some power lines heading toward, we'll worry about that.
Some neighboring businesses.
I think we need to have a contest, a district-wide contest to see what we're going to do to replace the tree. To put
That's
in
going to
its
be one
place.
of the phases, I'm sure. So.
I have some ideas.
We don't know yet, so.
Thank you for that report. Is that the report?
That's it.
Thank you very much. At this time, we'll adjourn to close our executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code sections listed in the Open Meetings Act for the following purposes: discuss purchase of real estate and discuss employment of teachers and other professional staff. We are now in executive session. An executive session, item 15A, consideration and possible action regarding purchase of real estate. How do you?
Mr. President, I move that we approve what we discussed in closed session.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nadia.
Motion, Mr. Powers, and a second by Mr. Hymas to proceed with the purchase of real estate as discussed in executive session. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Item 15B, consider employment of teachers and other professional staff.
I
First, I
move.
make a motion.
Please.
Motion to approve the employment of teachers and other professional staff as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Hymas, second by Dr. Reiniger. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes unanimously. This meeting is now adjourned.
Great.
Happy Thanksgiving.